In this video, I'm going to show some features of RedOnionScript and the new UI library. There have been a lot of improvements in both the script and the UI library, so I'm going to demonstrate them on this flight. So we have this program that's going to pop up a UI, and it has several buttons which interact with the autopilot and give us an ability to control a craft while it is flying. So first what we can do, we can disengage SAS, and it seems to be pretty stable right now. You can click hold orientation and mess with the orientation a little bit, and it overshoots a little bit. The autopilot's not very complicated. It also doesn't work well with control surfaces yet. There's a bug, but so it's good enough. So I can stop the spin. This is the same as SAS. So if I move it over to here, it will just try to keep the rocket stable. It works really well. Works better than SAS. You can see if I disable this, suddenly crazy things happen. So I can click stop spin, and Autopilot eventually is going to have a lot more advanced features, and I'm going to fix the bugs. But right now, it works really well for basic things like, again, if you have control surface like some movable winglets here, it doesn't handle that very well right now, but it handles these basic craft. The panel looks right now like this. I gave this panel a layout that is vertical. If I change that to horizontal, it looks like that. If I comment this out, it looks like that. It doesn't fill the width properly, and so that's how the layout works. You can build very nice complicated programs with just alternating between with nested horizontal layouts and vertical layouts. It's a very easy way to design UIs. Now I'm going to explain some things about the code beyond the UI library. I made a function that makes a button to simplify button creation. And so this is actually, well, you can use function or def. Def works the same. And this is the first argument. Well, the first token after that is a function name. And then there are the arguments separated by commas. Now, this is actually a function argument, so we're passing in a function, and the function is going to be used as what happens when you click the button. So make button is going to be called here, and it's going to return a button that is configured to be added to the panel. And its first argument is the name of the text that's going to appear in the button. The second argument is actually an anonymous function. So this is an anonymous function. I said before, the first token after the def or function token, I could say this as function as well, is the name. But if this is in a position where it can be returned as an expression, Whereas if at the start here, it's a definition, and it's going to consider that a name. If it's over here, then anything I put here is going to be considered an argument and not a name. So with RedOnionScript's Pythonic syntax and its ability to pass anonymous functions, we have a situation where we can create a control structure called each. This is a function definition, and we can call it here. This is a control structure defined in the language, and this is the function that calls an anonymous function, and it takes an anonymous function that and iterates over these parts and calls it on each part. The function in a language like Lua, for example, you have to if I define this in Lua, we get a lot of extra syntax. We have these parentheses, and this is what it looks like in Lua to define each. And it's still useful because there's seems to be a flaw in Moonsharp. If I nest these, if I nest the module, iterating over the modules inside the parts, there's a bug. So I guess this ends the video. If you have any questions about the project, please make an issue on GitHub or respond to our thread in the Kerbal Space Program mod development forum.